everyone. So, today I want to talk about really leveling up your life. And so I wanted to do this video a little bit differently. So, there's a bit of a different visual, something that's a little bit more visually stimulating while we talk about the real. And so, I think one of the most important things that I can do to bring value to my channel is to let you all know that we all have our own individual journeys to level up, and it's quite difficult even for the best of us. It's actually not easy, whether that's leveling up your personal life, leveling up your financial life, leveling up your dating life or your spirituality or whatever you're working on at the time. It can be very difficult. And I think that sometimes we get caught up in the things that are on the outside, the physical things, the things that you see right away that may fix one issue, but it's not fixing the most important issue. And for many of us, the most important issue is working on ourselves from the inside out. And I do want you to know that leveling up is not easy. It's not easy. There are so many things that you have to come to terms with, whether that's things from your childhood, whether that's things from past relationships or even current relationships. And I think it's very important for us to be really honest with ourselves before we can start putting on the nice clothes and the nice makeup and doing everything that we think we should do to catch a man or whatever. I think there is a very important art to spending some time alone. That's why I really cherish my singleness and my ability to move about as I pleased and my child freeness, because it allows me to work on things that I at one point did not think was a problem. And so a lot of times I think that it's easier for us to worry about surface things, because surface things is something that most everyone can fix with a $10 outfit and a $5 pair of shoes, if you're lucky enough to find that, and good makeup, right? After watching enough makeup tutorials, anybody can do makeup with enough practice. And so the things that we don't want to work on are things like ourselves, our real issues, the things that hold us back, the things that make us afraid to step out of our comfort zone, right? And so for me, one of those things is dating. I make it no secret on my channel that I'm not the most, I'm not one of those women who's always enjoyed male company. So dating, honestly, for me is a task. And I think dating has gotten a lot easier for me as I begin to really figure out what I want my life to look like and what I'm working towards. And so even though I'm not at my goal weight, and even just sometimes looking at my own videos or even this blog, I get really uncomfortable with the way I allow myself to look on the outside, but I refuse to let that stop me from getting out there. I attract a plethora of men, and it's also no secret that I pretty much date exclusively interracially now. And so I have no real issues with attracting men or whatever, but my issue stems from just not enjoying the process of dating. Now, as I said before, a lot of that has changed because I have my own agenda now, right? So before, when we were taught that, oh, you have to date for love, and that you have to do this and you have to do that, and you have to try to, play in the Olympics to try to deem yourself worthy to these men, when literally the universe is the opposite. And I really begin to find dating a lot easier, although it's still quite difficult, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm just a woman who don't enjoy male company. I've never really fiend or long for male company. There are men that I care for. There are men that I love. There are men that I like romantically even, but for someone like me, it takes a lot for me to get there. And so I think a lot of time it's, we question ourselves, we question even the best of us, the most confident of us get insecure, right? I date, a lot of the dating that I do fizzle out and it just doesn't end up working, right? And there's a small part of me, sometimes it's like, well, am I doing something wrong? But when I started to really invest in myself, and as I'm doing, I finally found a therapist. Hopefully thing work out with her. I'm investing in myself in coaching and that kind of thing. And so really to know myself even more from the inside out. And I'm someone who's very self-aware, and I think that I really know how I tick. And so, but as you really start to really delve into this level up journey, you do realize that you don't know nearly as much about yourself, and some of your traumas and different things that as you thought you did, like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, is this me? Like I was watching a YouTube video the other day where in the conversation of dating, and there was this lady who was in the long-term relationship, and she was getting frustrated because she was with this guy for 5 years and he hadn't proposed. She was pregnant and lost the baby. And so the host of the show, if you guys are familiar, you may already know what I'm talking about, but she basically said you weren't looking for commitment, because when a woman really wants commitment, she finds it. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel like my toes are being stepped on right now, because sometimes I wonder why I think that I'm going out on a good day, everything is great, and then it kind of fizzle out. And it's like after several times of doing that, it's like maybe it's me. And I'm like, oh my God, maybe I'm not looking for commitment, or I wasn't looking for maybe I wasn't energetically lined up with what I was actually desiring, or, whatever. Because sometimes our expectations and our desires are quite different. And I think that it's important for us to work on ourselves to know these things. And so I was just like, oh my God, well, maybe that's me. And maybe that's why, I kind of let things go, and I kind of like don't really want to really deal with men in general. Right. And I think that as I continue to work on myself, as we all should, then I'll get to this place where I have my agenda. I have what goal I'm working for, because as someone who don't really enjoy the company of men, and I've never really thirsted to have men around necessarily. I like them around when I like them around, and then I want them to go. So dating for me is sometimes it's a task. Sometimes I actually genuinely enjoy the company, and I genuinely enjoy the person that I'm out on a date with, but sometimes it just fizzle out, right? That's life. And I'm at a place now, thankfully, with the work that I'm doing, is that I don't give up. Like I just keep going, because eventually, sometimes I don't know if I want to be married. Sometimes I don't know if I want children. And so while I work out the kinks, I will continue dating through whatever, so that when I do decide exactly what it is that I want for my life in relationship terms, then I'll be able to move and shake and get what I want with the right kind of aggression and with the right kind of strategy. And I think that it's important for us to do that in all aspects of our lives. So what I really want, us to do as women is to continue to work on ourselves, right? Be careful about where you put your energy. And I say this 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,000 more. Where you put your energy is where your energy will be. And so when you are truly, truly leveling up in your life, you do not have time to worry about what other people are doing. When you're picking yourself apart and putting it back together, when you are seeking help, right? That's something that a lot of us don't want to do. We have a certain ego and a certain pride, and we don't want to admit that we need help. And me, I do sometimes suffer from a little bit of know-it-all syndrome. And sometimes it's difficult for me to find a mentor, or it's difficult for me to find a coach. It's difficult for me to find someone I quote unquote deem worthy to listen to. And I think that is something that I have to work on, because at the end of the day, sometimes we do need the opinion or the wisdom of a person who is on the outside of our lives and who can see things without any kind of shade or any kind of rose colored glasses or whatever. They can see through the smoke. There is no smoke when they're looking at your situation. And I think it's important for us to always work on ourselves and always seek to be better. And I promise you, when you do that, you will not have time to worry about what other people are doing. You will not have time, because this is the thing as women, if we want to go into different ecosystems, if we want to really level up our lives and our business lives and be successful and create the lives that we really want for ourselves and elevate ourselves, forget a man doing it. There's a lot of work, a lot of courage, and we cannot continue to allow ourselves to stay down in the name of being comfortable or in the name of fear. I personally have to work on courage in every aspect of my life. Courage to be vulnerable when I need to be. Courage to be aggressive and belligerent about protecting myself and not apologizing for it. Courage about wanting the best for myself, wanting the most money for myself, wanting the life that I desire, wanting to no longer have to work a 9-to-5 and to become the entrepreneur that I know I can be and to become a success, right? Because my goal is never to be a kept woman. My goal is to keep myself. My goal is, because you can't just lay on your back and think you're going to get the life that you want. It does not work like that in any area of life. And so I think it's important for us to all do the work. And I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you think. If you would like more voiceover videos with me doing more things than just sitting and looking at the camera, let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you will know when I upload a new video, every time I upload a new video. And thank you so much for watching.